It has become increasingly clear that some armies do not view BTS as human beings. This is a state of things that is both heartbreaking and a betrayal to the relationship that BTS has formed with ARMY. However, because some ARMY has refused to look at BTS for the human beings that they are. Instead, we had a live from Namjoon on December the 6th, where he expressed his frustrations and concerns and burdens that he has been carrying these past few weeks. Today, I want to talk about that live and I want to revisit some of what RM said. I will be using High Voice translation as a reference. On the days prior to this live, there has been an increase in the amount of uproar directed towards BTS. First, it was Jungkook's dating scandal, then the lack of content from BTS, other controversies like some other members, like Yoongi being MIA. There has also been news articles about financial analysts predicting a huge uptick in Hype's stock because of BTS' future tour and comeback. Some armies have been complaining about Jin's live birthday and how they say he expressed a lack of attitude for work that the members are showing. As you can imagine, all these rumors are burdensome to any human being. But because BTS are public figures, the rumors tend to be amplified 2 or 3 times over. The first thing that RM addressed is the lack of lives and interaction that some quote unquote fans have expressed. And to be honest, I am completely flabbergasted by this criticism. We have had multiple Jungkook lives of him playing for hours and hours on end on his computer. Simply has not been a lack of content. It is really difficult to have empathy for the people who shout this criticism to the BTS members. It oozes with entitlement and disregard. Any human being has to eat, they have to sleep, catch up on their personal lives and hobbies, etc. And you're not allowing BTS to do that. This tells me that you do not see them and that you're forgetting that at the end of the day, the BTS members are human beings. And as human beings, they have the right to rest and leisure. The mentality of someone who is screaming at them that how dare they not have enough content for them to consume is the mentality of someone expecting a fictional character to serve their every need and whim to their demand, as if BTS were some puppets for you to play with and discard once you get bored of them. They're not. They are human beings. And I really am going to try my best to have some empathy and think that these people, maybe they're going through some rough times. But I'm sorry, if you are going through rough times, it is your responsibility to seek help instead of burden 7 members of a band that you do not know personally and ask them to care for your mental health. I genuinely feel that if you feel so distraught by an artist not servicing your every want and need 24/7, you need to find help because BTS will never be able to therapize you into feeling better. They will never be able to fulfill your insatiable need to escape your own reality. The second part of the live stream that resonated with me was RM setting healthy boundaries between him, the band members, the company, and army. He said, if something happens, I am not someone who can just explain every controversy because I have a lot of flaws too. Please notice how he says that he has a lot of flaws. And I want you to really internalize those words. Really accept that he does have a lot of flaws. I know that us as fans of BTS, we want to highlight their amazing achievements and artistry, how incredible they are. And I want to focus on those too. But if we only focus on their achievements and their worth and value because of their position in society, then we are in the end flattening the BTS's members' humanity and existence. All human beings have flaws. We are definitionally imperfect. And if we refuse that view of BTS to them, if we refuse that they do not have any flaws, then we will eventually commit a very terrible sin, and that is viewing them as only superhuman, as only idols, as these people who are untouchable, that cannot have any moral failures. And what we are doing by doing that is stripping them from their humanity for being human beings who are capable of loving and caring and creating amazing works of art. So instead of saying, no, Namjoon, to me, you're perfect, everyone else is wrong, and you are right, you haven't done anything wrong, try saying, I understand that you have flaws, Namjoon, and I still love you, flaws and all. Allow BTS to make mistakes, because the only way for them to grow and become better people, become better performers or better artists, is by having mistakes and correcting and perfecting. He later said, quote, please understand that I cannot talk about everything right now. And here I want to say, please understand that we are not entitled to all information about BTS, that we don't know everything about BTS, and that there will be things that we will never know about BTS. And that is okay. We are extremely lucky people that we have so much content already, that so much content came out during the military era. But please realize that all that content happened as a result of them planning for years and years in advance. And it was a grueling and hard work process to record and process and make all of that content and art and put it in a vault for it to be released little by little, like droplet by droplet throughout the military process. This happened because they overworked themselves to the point of feeling ill and burned out. If BTS had come out from the military and they had put out content immediately, there would be criticism that that content did not feel authentic. Moreover, people would have told them that they were greedy. So had BTS come out immediately after the military, it would have felt inauthentic and they would have received criticism. This is how BTS is damned if they do and damned if they don't. All of this makes me think again that the criticism leveraged against BTS that are coming from some supposed fans comes from people that do not view BTS for the human beings that they are. This criticism comes from someone that views BTS as products for use, entertainment, and discard. Namjoon later said, I cannot represent our team anymore because I am just one single human being. I used to take charge of this, but after the members each are their own individuals with their own boundaries and their own lifestyles and styles. So saying I must handle the members in some way or going to the company to speak for them, I do not think that applies anymore. I am so proud of Namjoon for setting this boundary clearly and plainly as possible. Sometimes I feel angry at the literacy crisis that we're living through right now. This has all been as a result of algorithms and AI that have been dumbing us down. Because if you have been listening, like really listening and paid attention to BTS's words since that 2022 Festa Dinner, then you would have known this is not a new attitude. Precisely because in 2022, Namjoon felt so burdened by his responsibility in a group, he asked for time to explore his own personal solo work. And all the members, in a way, agreed or felt empathetic with this idea. All of our PWP was Namjoon looking at the broken pieces of himself and trying to rebuild and mend his own soul after having been burned out by that responsibility. Like a vase that had fallen and shattered to the ground, he was taking those pieces and repairing them to give himself, his soul, his vase, the place where his artistry and humanness lives, a new life and beauty. Namjoon felt so burdened by the pressure of that he really he had real life physical and mental health consequences because of it. And he very generously and graciously shared his concern with us. What Namjoon wanted and what he needed, he was craving and screaming to himself and to us, the fans, to view him as a human being with flaws and burdens, not like this god or superhuman figure that is perfect and all powerful and omnipresent and omnipotent, that is perfect in every single way. But because some people do really lack the understanding of critical analysis, they did not take these words into consideration. So I'm glad that he is restating this boundary again and as plainly as possible. He's refusing to be a leader that manages others, and I am glad he is doing so. I feel so proud of him. And I am sure that he is resignifying what it means to be a leader to BTS. It's not like he's totally foregoing being a leader. I'm sure he will carry on having the weight of the burden of that crown. It will just be in a different, more humane way. Afterwards, Aaron mentioned that BTS could have, at many points, have broken up, but at the end of the day, they are still together. Quote, the very fact that we are doing this together, I am extremely grateful. Just now, too. It was really like I met with the members again and we did this and that and talked and had fun and filmed together. And it really felt nice. Notice how he's again metaphorically relinquishing the title of being a leader because only by doing so, it would allow him to interact with his own members in a more humane and freeing way, in a more carefree way. He's able to enjoy moments of happiness and carefree camaraderie without a burden of managing and presenting everything himself. This is something good. This is good for all the seven members and BTS as a whole. Being always watched is hard, but we're used to that now. Anyway, I am not someone who can explain things, and a lot of controversial things are not mine to speak on. End quote. So here I think he is referring to the controversy with Jungkook, but this could also be about Bang Shi-hyuk's case or previous Jimin's or Taehyun's dating rumors. It could even be about Yoongi's scooter incident. All of this could go to all of those things. It could be to the IPO of Hype. Whatever is tangentially in the orbit of BTS, he cannot speak to that. And I believe this is what Namjoon means, that he cannot talk on behalf of Jungkook or Junggi or Jimin or Tae, because each of them are their own person. And even if they share the same values, even if they have lived together for so long and they have shared time and memories together, they still are their own person. So what he's saying here is that he does not want to strip them of their own personhood because they're capable of speaking for themselves. They're entirely capable of having a different opinion than Namjoon. And so therefore, he cannot speak for them. I think this is what he is doing by relinquishing the title of a leader. It's not like he's going to be without a care of BTS and he's no longer going to lead them. I think that he's only relinquishing the impossible standard of speaking everything as perfectly and clearly for everyone and not making any mistakes. It is simply impossible for him to express what others think without robbing them of these other people, of their agency and identity. I am very proud of Namjoon for expressing his limits in regards to this. Then he said, quote, about the things that you seem to be worried about, I want to reassure you. Well, reassure is not the right word. I think it will be good to say what I can say within my limits. And since I got makeup done, I thought I would talk about how we have been. He said, quote, a lot of people around me keep asking, why did you guys waste the entire half of 2025? Why did you not do anything? We did not want to waste it either. I wanted to do a lot of activities since the military discharge, but there are things I cannot say. And the reason we did not do activities in the year end are all for specific reasons. But I cannot tell you these reasons because I do not have the authority to say it. I simply do not have the right to talk about it. This criticism to me is certifiably deranged, a deranged statement to make. It is clear that they have been working and preparing for their comeback nonstop. BTS are not some AI character that can just spit out anything at the behest of a prompt. They have to gather their thoughts, They have to agree on a concept and an artistic direction. They are seven accomplished artists with their own taste and their own wants and message to they want to convey, and they want to come up with something that the seven of them enjoy and agree with. And that takes time. That is something that a lifeless AI character misses entirely by spitting out content as a response of a prompt. This is human time and human struggle that they have to contend with in order to put out simple content. Creating art takes time to live a human life and struggle with your own identity and community. Moreover, they have to record and master and mix whatever songs they have agreed upon. Then they have to plan the content to present it. They have to film it. They have to edit. They have to prepare for it to go in accordance to the algorithm and what the algorithm is willing to present to the world, because they have to sell and they want their artwork to be known. And they have to prepare for live performances and a tour. That is a very difficult thing to plan. All of this, all of that takes time. For a normal band, it could take up to 3 or 4 years of preparing and producing to put out everything that BTS is preparing right now. And they are doing it in record time. Even if all the content that comes out, even if it comes out in a year, it would have taken record time to have it put out. Because and honestly, like, you have to have like basic human skill of planning and ordering and product managing. Put yourself in their shoes and ask yourself, what would it take for you to produce everything that you're asking them to produce? It honestly borders in the inhumane, the amount of work they have to be doing right now in order to produce as much content as we're expecting in a year or half a year. They're producing at a stupidly fast rate. Perhaps we have been too spoiled by them. They have loved us so much that they sacrifice their personal time and health in order to keep putting content out. And the result of that was the heartbreaking Festa Dinner of 2022. They were burnt out and they felt like machines that did not have anything to say for themselves because they couldn't even think about life because they have been so overworked. They consciously took a break from group activities to recover from that burnout. And after that, they went to a very hostile environment. They went to the freaking military. Honestly, the military is not child's play. In the military, something could have gone wrong. Like, this is not, they have been through a lot. The military is hard for anything. And now that they're back, you, as a supposed fan, are demanding them to work at the same rate, an even more insane rate, the same rate that made them suffer as much as they did in 2022. Honestly, you're not seeing their human nature. You want to treat them as AI slop content that can be prompted out and spitted out in a matter of seconds. How incredibly rude. Like, honestly, like, that is simply not what a fan would do. I do not want them to be overworked to the point of physical and mental illness. They have suffered enough. It's not about my insatiable desire to consume their content nonstop. They're not things, they're human beings. They are not machines, they're not superhuman beings, they are not gods, they're not idols, even though their job is to be an idol, but they're not like literal idols. They're not magicians. All of this takes time. Listen to him. They are working, they are preparing. Takes time because they want to work and prepare in the right way. He said, quote, "As you know, I have a lot of flaws and shortcomings. That is the kind of person that I am. And I struggle with self-hatred a lot too. Even now, I am like this because I cannot overcome my sleep issues. So day by day, I cannot even take care of my own body, properly manage my own financial and mental health. So how am I supposed to do something for the whole team or find whether I deserve this position? Does it make sense for me to do all these things?" And even so, like reading his words about how him struggling, about him wanting to prepare and him wishing that he could meet us and feeling happy and him wanting to like almost skip over the hard parts breaks my heart. And I empathize with him a lot. This has been the most difficult year in my life. It has been terrible. Like everything around me just crumbled from work and school, my family, myself, everything has been horrible. And my mom got really sick with a horrible disease and she died. I feel stuck. I feel part of my avoidantness is that I hide in my room and I feel agoraphobia. I had come to the conclusion I have lost a lot of my life because I have been hiding. I've only making things worse. And this is what Namjoon said at the end. He said, I have all of these issues, and yet I still need to do them. I still need to get up and be there and be present for you and for me. That is the way to move forward. I wish I could take his pain away, but I know I cannot. I wish they could take my pain away, but they cannot. BTS loves us so much, and Namjoon loves us so much that he took the time to tell us this and ask for our understanding. So please do so. Editing, Andrea. I forgot to mention the most important part of this. I do believe that a lot of this hate that is coming from supposed army is not army at all. It is proven that 60% of accounts in Twitter are bots, and it is a similar amount in other social media platforms. So I do believe that a lot of this comes either from haters that are pretending to be armies, from a deliberate attack from some person to try to bring controversy to BTS. They wanted to leverage cultural differences in order to act in bad faith. So that means they use a cultural issue to create division in order to scare off foreign entities, because it's clear at this point that a lot of BTS's power does come from its fans. If you sow resentment within the fans, then you hit BTS. So even though everything that I said here does apply, and I do think that if you believe BTS owes you something, you have a certifiable mental health problem, and I'm really sorry, but you need to seek help. At the same time, I have to wonder how much of this is paid bots. We do have to keep that in mind. Please don't fall. Please don't fall for xenophobic or racial anger. Anyways, that is a clarification. I might do a video on that soon. So yeah, see you when I see you. I fear that I have rambled a lot. Please take care of yourself. Send love to RM and the 7 members of BTS. And until next time, remember to be excellent to one another. Okay?